welcome to Roanoke County Today. I'm Teresa Hall, Roanoke County's Public Information Director. Just ahead on this month's show, we'll tell you about a free program for folks who are looking for a way to dispose of old medications. Plus, we'll find out what plans look like for this summer's Catawba Valley Farmers Market. And if you're a local history buff, you'll want to stick around to find out what's happening at the Vinton Museum. Those segments and much more, hope you'll stay with us.
Volunteer firefighters save lives.
Do you have what it takes? Visit RoanokeCountyVA.gov/FRVolunteer.
Or call 540-777-8706 to become a volunteer today.
On April 28th, several localities and agencies will join together to host another drug take-back event at locations across the Roanoke Valley. Here to explain what this event is all about is Sarah Baumgartner with the Western Virginia Water Authority and Nathan Hartwell, who's a school resource officer with the Roanoke County Police Department. Sarah, this is a wonderful program. For folks who aren't familiar with it, what do we mean by drug take-back?
This is a community-wide event where people can bring their unused or expired medicines to locations around the valley and turn them in so you can prevent harming the environment or getting the medicines in the hands of people that shouldn't have them.
And when did it get started? It's been around for a little while, but so far been very successful and continues to grow.
Right. This is our third take-back event. And about 2 years ago, the Western Virginia Water Authority partnered with RASAC, which is the Roanoke Area Youth Substance Abuse Coalition, local law enforcement officers, and local DEA agents to collect medicine. And the Water Authority realized that we did not want people flushing medicines down the drain to dispose of them. And RASAC was concerned that medicines left in homes could possibly be taken and be abused. So we came up with this idea in partnering with the other agencies to find a safe way to dispose of them.
Officer Hartwell, this has got to be a wonderful program in your eyes. I know you've helped participate with it. Are you seeing a trend where young people are beginning to experiment, if you will, with prescription medications, and that we need events like this to help people clear out their medicine cabinets?
Absolutely. That's one of the concerns that we're seeing nowadays is with children and young teenagers. They have so much accessibility to the prescription drugs because, you know, most folks have them in their medicine cabinet, so it's easy to get a hold of. It's easy to get a hold of them and take them, abuse them, or even worse, sell them to other kids, parties and stuff like that. A lot of times now we're having prescription drugs show up at party scenes where kids are experimenting with all different kinds of prescription drugs, because quite often young teenagers don't realize the seriousness of it because they see it as a prescription drug, not some of the more illicit drugs.
Right. And Sarah, I know you have really seen a dent made in this with, share with us the numbers. I guess it's close to a ton, I think you told me.
Right. We've collected almost a ton of medicine at the 3 take-back events, and they're growing. We went from 300 pounds the first event to the last one we did was over 1,000 pounds of prescription pills that were turned in.
That is amazing.
And we're hoping it continues to grow.
Keeping it out of the waterways and keeping it out of the hands of young people. You can't beat that combination. Tell us a little bit about some of those locations so people watching will know where they can take their medications to.
Right. Well, as you said, on Saturday, April 28th, from the hours of 10 to 2, you can go to locations around the valley, and those locations are the Roanoke Civic Center out in the parking lot, Kroger locations in the valley, including the Vinton Kroger, the Tanglewood Kroger, and the Daleville Kroger, the fire station on Hirschberger Road in Roanoke County, the Roanoke County Public Service Building, and the Kmart on Main Street in Salem.
Well, several locations to pick from, and it's a program that's growing in popularity, and I wish both of you the best of luck on April 28th. Thank you so much for sharing this information. It's very important.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa.
All right, stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Interested in keeping up with Roanoke County? Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, or find us on YouTube. For a link to county departments using social media to communicate, visit our website at RoanokeCountyVA.gov. Plans are underway for next month's opening of the Catawba Farmers Market. Joining me now is Doug Blunt, who is Director of Roanoke County's Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department. And you're one of the many Roanoke County departments that helps with this endeavor, right?
Yes, this is a tremendous effort that we work and partner with Virginia Tech Earthworks to offer the Farmers Market every Thursday between May 17th and the end of October. This is a great opportunity for folks to be able to get fresh from the farm foods as well as arts and crafts from local artisans.
And this is the third year for the Catawba Valley Farmers Market.
It is, and we've been very happy with the success that we've had already. Each year we've continued to grow the farmers market, and we've seen participation grow as well as the number of vendors that are coming out to sell their wares. And we hope again for another exciting year of having this at the Catawba Community Center.
Well, it's a community effort, and I think a lot of people like to support the effort of the local farmers.
They really do, and especially with these food items being grown right in Roanoke County, it's a very unique type of opportunity for our citizens to be able to buy from Roanoke County citizens. Explain
for the viewers at home what we mean by this cooperative arrangement. It's a Virginia Tech endeavor that we've joined in with?
That is correct. We've formed a partnership with Virginia Tech Earthworks. It's a program that is a part of their local economic development department for Virginia Tech, and this program is designed to help teach local farmers the business of growing, selling, and how to compete in local markets.
And folks who go out there to the farmers market, what are they going to see? What types of foods?
They're going to see a wide variety of different foods, from fruits and vegetables to local meat products. They also will be arts and crafts from some of the local vendors in the Catawba Valley that are wanting to sell their local items. And so you kind of get a wide variety of different type of items that I think that our citizens would enjoy.
And I think that over the years the enthusiasm has grown too for it.
It really has. This is a part of the community that we want it to remain rural, and that we don't want to have any development in the area. So I think that in Roanoke County this presents a very unique type of opportunity that you might not find in the rest of Roanoke County.
And the opening for the farmers market is May 17th, and where is it located at?
It's located on Catawba Road at the Catawba Community Center, and it starts on May 17th, and it goes from 3:30 to 7 each Thursday.
Oh, fantastic. This is wonderful. I know a lot of people are really looking forward to it. Thank you, Doug, for the information.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Geocaching is a phenomenal new approach to being outdoors. You actually use a GPS, a global positioning system device, to actually find hidden treasures. You can find them all over. We actually are producing a treasure hunt where you use this to find all kinds of treasures. The treasure hunt is going to take place on Saturday, May 12th. We'll be starting the hunt at Green Ridge Recreation Center. And don't worry, if you don't have a GPS unit with a small deposit, we will provide one for you. We'll give you instruction on how to use it. We'll give you all the coordinates and all the information that you need to find out. We're actually going to start at 10 a.m. in the morning. We will start with a social hour where you'll actually get to visit with some folks who actually go out geocaching on the weekends. Some of them even do it during the week. But anyway, you'll be able to have a little social time with them, and the hunt actually starts at 11, and then everyone will be able to be back at Green Ridge by 3. There are groups of folks that go out, there are individuals that go out. There's actually a website that folks can go to, www.geocache.com, where you can learn all about this new adventure. We have actually had treasure chests made, and inside the treasure chests will be coins. There will be various values in the coins, so obviously the first one to find the cache, C-A-C-H-E, will actually win because they will accumulate the most points. So when they get back to Green Ridge, we actually count all the points, and we actually have prizes to give away to folks. This is our 4th year doing it, and we have well over 100 people that are joining us each year to participate, to be outside, to enjoy nature, and see all the beauty that Roanoke County has to offer. You start at Green Ridge, and you will actually pick up the coordinates, which are actually your longitudes and latitudes, and you'll use the GPS system to find those locations. You will be going, I'm not going to give any hints, but we're probably going to be concentrating in Southwest County this year for the treasure hunt. An additional thing that we're doing this year is we're participating in CETO, which is cash in, trash out, meaning that we're going to be also giving everybody a nice looking garbage bag. So if they happen to find anything when they're out hunting for the cash, that shouldn't be there, they can pick up some of the trash, bring it back to us, and we will dispose of it. So we're also helping the environment as well as have a good time. I just think that folks need to come out to learn about this because it is so much fun. Families can do it. I mean, it's just get a team together, get your friends to come out. You really shouldn't do it with less than 2 people because obviously you're going to have to drive to the location, so you don't want one person looking at the GPS unit that's also doing the driving. So we would certainly recommend that you come at least in pairs, but you can come as many people as you can fit in a car, and it's absolutely free. The date is Saturday, May 12th. It starts at 10 a.m. That's registration, social hour. The actual treasure hunt itself starts at 11 a.m. and everybody is expected back by 3 at the latest.
Work to develop a balanced budget for the upcoming fiscal year is continuing. We're joined now by Roanoke County Administrator Clay Goodman, who's been working with the Board of Supervisors and county staff to set priorities and make department cuts in attempt to set this balanced budget. Clay, thank you so much for sitting with us and providing an update. When you went to the Board of Supervisors, it's to get their input. What sort of priorities did they give you for trying to put together a balanced budget for this fiscal year?
We approached them in early December to ask them for guidance as we move forward with the work on the budget, and they set some basic criteria. One is there would be no tax increase, which was just recently enacted. We raised no tax rates currently on the books that we have with the county and so forth. The second thing was to mitigate, whatever the word would be, impacts on citizen services. The third thing was to not result in a layoff of employees and so forth, to minimize that to the best that we could do. And then finally they said, let's try to pull things together and make sure that we look out for the citizens who the board has constantly said is those who we work for.
And we're looking at a shortfall right now. It's still early. We're still working a lot of things out, but the shortfall that we've identified early on was about $5.9 million.
Yes.
And some of, naturally, some cuts then do have to be made by departments. What sort of things have they come to the board with?
Well, the cuts that we've been discussing with the departments and we presented to the board at a recent work session was, first thing was we had the police and fire and rescue departments to request additional staffing to help them to meet the needs of the growing number of calls and so forth, the pressures on the police, fire and rescue. And unfortunately in the proposed budget there would be no recommendation for any additional staff.
Okay.
And so we will not be able to do that. The second thing is we will be reducing people's operating budgets, which will have some very minor impacts to citizens. For example, in the library, we won't be replacing computers as quick as possible on the schedule and so forth. Should have minimal impact on the citizens, but could.
Right.
Another area that we're looking at is in general services. We're looking at the possibility of dropping what we currently call the freeloader service, and that is where a citizen can call in and rent either, or not rent, but ask to have the use of overnight or over the weekend so they can discharge or place debris in there and then we'll haul it away the next day. We presented that at a recent work session and the board asked us to go back and look at what we would do if we would charge for that. So we're working on that also. And then also in that regards, we're looking at the charges that we currently pick up for condos and HOAs. We've talked about not picking that up. And then finally, we have a service where Roanoke County residents can go to the Resource Authority and discharge trash, debris, whatever, by themselves at no charge. And we're looking at possibility of dropping that service. So those are some of the few of the items that we're looking at.
Right.
We're trying to minimize the impact on the citizens. We looked at services that was not used by everybody, but a smaller number of people, so that we try to mitigate the impact on citizens. But with a plan of looking at about 1.5 million reductions in the budget for respective departments, we felt like we could not meet that without some impact to citizens.
Well, it's April 2nd now while we're taping, and you have to present a draft budget, or you're scheduled to present a draft budget to the Board of Supervisors. How do you manage to do that with so much uncertainty on the state level? And if you would just kind of describe what's going on there and how that impacts the budget that you try to develop.
Well, currently we're facing a situation that the state has not adopted its budget. And I think Brent reported in last month's report that approximately 7 or 8% of our revenues are directly from the state government. So we're still working on that, and it has some impact on us, so we're waiting on that. The second thing is also they have increased expenses for us, and one specifically is VRS and the life insurance associated with VRS, and that's about $2.5 million in additional cost if we proceed with the current bills as we understand that have been adopted by the General Assembly. And most recently, at the end of the session, there was an action where they would mandate that local governments would pass on the 5% that currently the governments pay for the employees, which we did back in the 80s to offset increases, our salary increases that we did not provide to the employees during the 80s, during those downturn times. So what they've come now with is they want the local governments to give the employees a 5% raise and have them pay the 5% toward VRS. There's also additional costs associated with that, which including schools and us is ranging from $500,000 to $1.2 million additional cost. So all of this is being reviewed right now, and we're trying to figure out the puzzle and pull it all together. And without the certainty of the state budget, it's a little bit more difficult. So we're going to have to make some assumptions, make probably worst case scenarios, and then move forward.
And so you present the worst case scenario, and then afterward the public has a chance to weigh in, but also they can go online, and we have a budget website, budget page, where people can also submit comments
Yes,
online.
we would ask citizens, we always place information as we present it to the board, we place it on our website. We would encourage our citizens to go to our website, review the information, and we have a mechanism on the website where they can give us information and guidance. We would encourage them to use that, to interact with us before the public hearing, so we can report back to the board the comments and so forth. And ultimately, we have to have the budget adopted no later than June 30th, but normally we adopt it by the second meeting in May with a normal schedule. But like I said earlier, this is not a typical year.
Nothing has been normal about this entire
Not
budget.
this budget process, no, ma'am. But, you know, we'll work with it, and we understand that the situation at the state, they're dealing with their own situations, and we all work together. At the end of the day, we all work for the citizens, and we'll pull things together the best we can to minimize the impact on the citizens.
All right. Well, a lot of information to digest. Thank you very much, Clay. We appreciate it, and we encourage people to go to Roanoke County's website and look for the budget information page, because it has not only a mechanism for you to submit your comments, suggestions, ideas, but also has all of the budget information that we share with the Board of Supervisors there.
Yes, please go to our website, review the material. If you have any questions, we have information on there where you can contact us and forward your questions to us so we can respond to you immediately.
All right, thank you, Clay. And stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Celebrate Arbor Day in your community, April 26th. Roanoke County encourages residents, businesses, and organizations to promote healthier communities by planting a tree in honor of National Arbor Day.
There's a fantastic new program available to homeowners across Southwest Virginia, including right here in Roanoke County. The program is designed to help homeowners, regardless of their income level, save money on their energy bills. Joining me now to talk about this fantastic program is Greg Lewis, who helps run the organization that's overseeing this program, which is so wonderful. Greg, thank you for your time coming out to talk to us about what's going to be offered to Roanoke County citizens. Now, I believe it's a postcard that's going to be mailed through your organization to all homeowners in Roanoke County, but we also thought this segment would be a great way to kick off the public information component. Before we get into all of those details, what would you like folks at home watching now to know about this program?
There's never been a better time for homeowners in Roanoke County to take advantage of the program statewide and nationwide that is set up to help homeowners have energy assessments done on their home, and actually to provide incentives to have them be able to undertake the work that's recommended as a result of those energy assessments.
And Cafe Squared, your organization's a nonprofit, and really you want people to know too that no home is too old.
Exactly right. In fact, in some cases, the older the better. But we're set up as a nonprofit. We're a division of Community Housing Partners out of Christiansburg, Virginia, and we're operating under a U.S. Department of Energy program grant.
Okay, let's go ahead and share some of those details. One of the first steps, of course, is going to be an energy assessment. What does that involve?
An energy assessment is the single best way that homeowners can learn where their home is functioning properly and where there are areas of improvement, specifically related to energy usage.
And with that energy audit, I think where your organization comes in is that you can help line up a person or a company to perform that energy audit, but then also if people take certain steps, there's rebates that are available for that energy assessment.
That's right. We have a pool of contractors who have gone through training that we've offered. They're properly accredited to do this work, and we're pleased to allow them to operate within this program, and I think ultimately they'll do a high quality job. Through our program, we also offer a quality assurance review of all of the work that's being done, so the homeowners know that they're getting what they pay for.
Wonderful. Well, you get your energy assessment, your page is back, and you have to look through all of it, and perhaps you're a lower income family and you realize there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done on your house, and you just don't have those finances available. That again is where your organization can step in and provide some financial assistance. Talk a little bit about that.
Exactly right. We've got incentives available for homeowners regardless of their income level. They range from a low interest loan through Freedom First Credit Union. We also have funding all the way up to a $15,000 forgivable loan program made available to us through Freedom First and the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. So the key here is that once you have a chance to review the information that the assessment provides, you have a way to go through and actually have those improvements made.
That is wonderful, and I believe the dollar amount is up to $15,000 for folks who qualify.
Exactly right. It's a tremendous opportunity.
It is.
And a great opportunity for homeowners to get this work done and reduce their energy bills.
You know, when I've heard about this program and talked to you before, I've always said, Greg, this is too good to be true. How is all of this made possible?
Well, it depends. The funding sources vary. Some of this funding is from the U.S. Department of Energy. Some of it's available, as I mentioned before, through the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta. But regardless, we have this variety of funding available to help homeowners do this work. Some of it is public, some of it is private funding, and what we're after is to help homeowners walk through this process from the assessment to getting the work done, and then actually providing the funding to help folks to get this work done.
Wonderful. Well, this informational postcard is going to be mailed out to all homeowners in Roanoke County in a matter of weeks. And but folks who are watching this segment may want to go ahead and do some research, try to find out more about Cafe Squared. I assume you have a website.
Yes, the website is www.cafesquared, all spelled out, .org, and they can also feel free to call us. Our phone number is 540-264-3494.
And that website is a good one to go ahead and bookmark, because if you do decide to participate in this program, a lot of the information that you need to do and to know is actually there.
Exactly right, and folks can actually sign up on the website, which I hope will be a convenient way for them to get involved in the program.
All right, well, all the information has just been fantastic. There's so much available to folks of all income levels in Roanoke County. Thank you so much, Greg, for sharing the information, and we look forward to talking to you again in the near future.
Thank you. Me too.
And stay with us, everyone. There's much more Roanoke County Today to come. Stay with us.
Higher electric bills, sticker shock at the gas pump, energy can cost a ton, but it's easy to save money and give your budget a boost. Save hundreds of dollars in energy costs by doing just a little. An average household dedicates 11% of its energy budget to lighting. Using new lighting technologies can reduce energy use by 50 to 75%. One of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to cut energy bills is to replace conventional light bulbs with compact fluorescent lamps. They're more efficient and last 6 to 12 times longer. Remember, do a little, save a ton.
Welcome back. I'm Dan O'Donnell, Assistant County Administrator, and I am here today at the Vinton History Museum, a fascinating place, with Maddie Forbes, who is one of the founders, and she helps run the place, and it's really an amazing place. I had a quick tour before we started this interview, and I appreciate the tour. Welcome, and I'm glad you could have us here today.
We appreciate you having us.
Great.
We like to spread our word around.
Well, and you should. This place is really interesting. Can you give us some background on when this museum started, how it started? Okay, we started with the Vinton Historical Society in 1985, and in 1988, one of our members offered her this house, the Upson House,
to the town of Vinton to be used for something the community could use. She didn't want it torn down. She didn't want it to be used as a parking lot. So since she was a member, we might have had a better chance of getting a house for the use of the museum. But also the senior citizens asked for it. So I don't know how we got it, but we're just glad we did.
And who operates the museum? What's the organization?
The museum is operated by volunteers with the Vinton Historical Society.
Right.
And when we started out in 1988, we had plenty of volunteers,
Right.
but now we need volunteers. And so we always say, if you can walk and talk, come on and help us
Right.
in the museum, because we got a great museum. People don't know it.
It is fascinating. What is the location? How do people find you?
We are on the corner of Maple and Jackson in Maine, Vinton, and it's a 2-story white house. And we have a sign out, so come on by and see us.
And you talked a little bit about this. Is called the Upson House. Can you tell us a little more about the significance of the Upson family in the house?
The Upson family, the father built this house. He also, I think he owned this whole lot, a whole block at one time. But he also owned several businesses. So he was one of the original business people in the area.
Okay, and you talked a little bit about how you can get involved. People can become members of the society?
You can become a member of the Historical Society, and it's very inexpensive, $15 a year.
Great.
And we like for you to participate if you do become a member. And we do have a lot of good people that help us. We have gentlemen that cut the grass for us and keep the yard looking good. And then the ladies come in and we change the exhibits. And we've run out of space, but we do try to change them.
What are the hours of operation if somebody wants to come see you?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 to 2.
Okay, Monday, Wednesday,
And we
Friday,
do
10
make
to 2.
special tours for anyone that wants to bring a group. We will do that for schools and churches or anyone if they just let us know in advance.
Now tell us about some of the treasures that are in this museum, because there's some really interesting
We
things in
have
here.
treasures galore. It's in the music room. We have the cylinder player, which is one of my favorites because it still plays. All of these items have been donated by local people. And in the school room, we have a lot of things from the old William Byrd High School and Roanoke Cook Elementary School. And upstairs, we have the business room, which are items from the local businesses way back.
And one of the things that I especially like, there's a bedroom that has a very old bed in there and
The
a lot of
old
furniture.
bed came from the house that's in Vinton, up behind the market now that they have redone, and that's where that bed came from.
Well, it's just fascinating because you can really see how people lived in different periods of time.
That's right.
Going way back, there's some old farm tools that are actually look handmade,
Yes.
and they're very fascinating. All the way back to arrowheads that were found in Vinton. And
That's right.
Really interesting. So,
Yeah.
thanks you for being with us today. It's been a fascinating trip for me. I really have enjoyed looking at your museum. And
Thank you.
And
We appreciate it.
wish you the best of luck on continuing to show people what Vinton was like. And,
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be right back.
The town of Vinton is open for business and is committed to improving customer service to its citizens and contractors. In the past, you may have had to wait as much as a day to get a permit for plumbing, electrical, or mechanical work. But things have changed. Now you can get over-the-counter permits in some cases before you walk out the door. We can even take credit card payments. This faster service is at no additional cost to the taxpayer. It's all part of the town's dedication to improving customer service. Find out more at vintonva.gov.
That's all for this month's edition of Roanoke County Today. Remember, for more information on Roanoke County events and programs, please check out our website at roanokecountyva.gov. Hope to see you again next month.